Section 1. welcomes. Very well. Then Hagen. Let these souls be farewell, Ashen One.
Ashen One.
Sure. What's wrong with you? Well, remember if you is I can see it in your eyes. If you didn't if you fancy a proper red eye, then kill the dark wraith. Savati has been a prisoner. I can see it in your eye. Good. But what do you really know about the... Let's take a right E8 and such as...
Sit there, five, all thanks to the Ashen One. With the Lords as thy witness, and let the Lord's embers a true law. Ashen One, may I pass the little Lord Ludlets by scent of a brave. Farewell, me. Noble lords of Cinder, the fire fades. And the lords go without thrones. Surrender your fires to the true heir. Let him grant death to the old gods of Lordran, deliverers of the first flame.
Your head's square on you, so I thought that clamouring. What is it you want? I've nothing for you, not a... Well, you think an old... Keep you...
Well, a lost lamb wandereth. Well, now what can this... Best not. What? Best not. Grace
Midnight, bruh. Midnight.
Ashen One.
I got it pre-ordered on digital, so yeah.
Tis what? Pretty big, I go. Tis good what?
The game's probably gonna be okay. I don't. From what was played in the network test, it wasn't terrible, but it's definitely better when you don't have randoms, obviously. So it shouldn't be that bad, especially considering that there is gonna be original bosses.
Ashen One.
Should be common sense though. If you can talk to a team, obviously you'll do better. But I think it's also, even if you have a team, it's also based off their skill level, because you don't want your average Joe Schmo fighting by themselves, and it's better to have at least one player who has, you know, the skill of some sort to where they could carry their team in some way. But even if it's not a great group, their group can obviously still do well, just because the game's more based off of RNG of what you get throughout the game, and not so much how good your team is. Because you can have the perfect team, but if your loot is garbage, rather the fight is going to take forever, or you're just going to not have many options to work with. And then there's some issues with, in terms of where you're supposed to go first sometimes, in terms of getting stuck somewhere, because you're supposed to be doing something in night 1, but you're doing a night 2 activity. So it's very much a process of having to learn what to do. But it shouldn't be too bad of a game. I think it can be standalone, but it very much is dependent on how much service will they do and how much content in terms of replayability is there. That's the largest point. Can you replay the game over and over again? Or will it just feel like you're playing a match of Fortnite and it's the same thing over and over? Which is obviously good for a replayability in terms of what you can do. It should be live service, especially considering that there is DLC plans. And obviously, ER was a live service game. It always got patches. And so, that range should be the same. And what's good is that the servers shouldn't be as bad in terms of summoning, because all you have to do is you go to a password, you queue in, and then you wait. And what's nice is you don't have to play with 3 players. There is a solo mode, but it's not as easy as 3 players, obviously. But it is a good challenge. Overall, the game should be good.
Very well, then hey.
But I'm not sure what they have plans for, because there's definitely DLC coming, but I'm not sure if it's just going to be straight up level, because it's not going to be enjoyable to pay for each boss, basically. It's like paying for a fighter's pass in Smash.
Ashen One.
I'm not sure if it's based off of, for example, if you queue in by yourself, I don't know if it's a separate mode compared to just the free player mode, or if it's how many players you queue in, there's some sort of host. That's what I'm imagining, is that there's some sort of host player that starts it. But on the network test, there wasn't much of a host. So, if there is a host, then you can obviously maybe start with 2 players. But I doubt you can. And most likely, it's based off of very much, you have to find a group of 3 in order to play consistently with, which is, I think, one of the hardest things to do. You can get 1 player, obviously, that's not just you, which is fairly easy to do, but then it's always that 3rd player that takes a whole lot longer to do, because of the fact that you are relying on 2 people instead of just 1. So, hopefully the game goes well. It should be fairly good, but especially with the people that you see on the server, you see a lot of casual players, which is what I personally ran into trying to find a group, like 1 extra. It was always not very satisfactory in terms of who you found. It's very much hard to find someone who is rather has skill at the game or won't just give up on a boss right away after dying. It's very much you have to find someone who's actually played the game and knows how to play a game and how a Souls game works in terms of that. And also someone who's committed to playing over and over, obviously, because it's what?
Ashen 1.
Okay. For me, I played the network test, right? I only won once, and I think I only played 1 or 2 sessions. And I won with only 1 other player, which was the only time I won was 1 other player. And the randoms most of the time, they felt like they were just kind of there. You really couldn't notice it. But then the randoms weren't very good, because most of the time they would either die night 1 with the Tree Sentinel fight, or they would die mostly during the Tree Sentinel fight. For me, at least, it was a lot of deaths in the Tree Sentinel fight, to where no one was strong enough. However, I think it is mostly based off of what fight do you get night 1 and night 2, which will make it easier. Because obviously, Centipede Demon was very simple. That was one of the easier ones, especially considering it's only 1 boss. But when you have to consider that so many of these night phases will have a multi-boss thing, the solo mode for it isn't as bad, because in solo mode they won't all gank you. It's just only gonna be 1, which is nice. But it is a bit concerning in terms of you do have to actually communicate with someone to fight certain bosses, which I think is nice, because each player can fight a certain boss, which fits their weaknesses and strengths. Like, 1 player can fight DTS, 1 player can fight the other 2 bosses, which would work pretty well. But I don't know how well it could work. Especially considering what bosses are they going to throw in each time. Because there's going to be some new bosses, most of them are going to come back. Or rehash in some way. Wow.
As for me, very what that hate.
But it should not be too bad.
Ashen 1.
Most likely the game's going to perform pretty well, but I doubt it's going to be as good as a full-on Souls game and the sales it'll provide. I don't really think it's luck. I think it's just the game overall is very simple in terms of casual play, because you feel like if you're comparing it to a regular character, which character? Buds. There's only 1 character to play. You can only play Duchess, you can't play anything else. That's the only good character. It's a professional play right there. And maybe I'll look over the characters, but the biggest concern with those characters, right, is that whenever you play those matches, you have to gain those, like, orbs, which is a bit odd. I'm not sure why that is the case, because if you're a newer player, you have to grind all those orbs in order to basically have a advantage. So really what it is the more you play, the bigger advantage you have, which is not great in terms of game design, because it may make players not want to play as much if they have to grind all this in order to make their character stronger. Which, I guess it is some sort of a reward system, but it's not made in a way that is compatible to if you have so many hours in the game as compared to someone who has way less hours. You're obviously going to have, the relic system. It's not very well made considering what you have to do for it. But the concept of it makes sense that you would gain these things in order to help you. But the ones that was inside the network test were not very good. They were like +2 decks, or not very memorable, strong relics. But they should only be small buffs. I doubt they're going to make it be a large, huge buff that's game breaking. When you do see like screenshots of people's relics, especially people who played before the game came out, and you see those, it's like a gigantic list of them, and it's multiple rows, which that could just mean that they were playing a lot and got all those, or it could mean that they gain a lot per each round, which would be nice if, for example, you gained 1 per each character. What's odd is that there is a quest system, which is a bit odd. Because the quest can only be so much of fight this boss or give an item, which is a bit odd to do in a game that is so limited in time, it feels like. It feels like the game is so limited in time, and that you have to be rush worthy. And because I rush worthiness, one of the worst things you can find is where the storm comes in, and then you're very much pushed to have to go straight to the area, and you don't have time to collect things because it's not so much of a storm circle like how it is in Fortnite, for example, where it's a storm circle, smaller in increments. It's really just straight to it with no stop until you get to the end of the night, which is a bit odder. It would be preferred to have a smaller circle each time over a set period of time, so that you are guaranteed time, or that it tells you how much time is there until it fully closes, for example. That is what is probably better, but I'm not sure. So, that's the hope, is that it's not made in a way that's not bad. gay, but he's using spells, but he's gay. Spells, he's gay. Oh. He's gay. Spells is 5. But he really healed. Go, buddy. No spells allowed. Oh, he's gay. He's gay. Go. Coming out the closet. Caught at a boss. Fuck is it? They brought back Dancer? That's actually kind of goated. Nameless King makes sense, like what, he's one of the biggest bosses in the game. So, that obviously makes sense. And then, Dancer, I think he's a really good boss. He's definitely feels a lot better to fight when you fight him early and not when you fight him when you're supposed to. Because when you're supposed to fight him, it is way too early. And that's not very good. The hope is that it's good that Nameless King, he still has both phases, which is nice. Obviously, that's great. What I want at least is to get Lord of Cinder or to get Gwyn inside the game and have one of those bosses, or have Radagon, or have one of the final bosses from one of the games. That is what is wanted from somewhere. Because there are not very few at all, if any, bad final boss inside the DS or ER, except for Beast maybe. But like, Radagon is really the actual final boss. If you go off of similarities between the two, it's a humanoid person as compared to the other ones, which is much better. I don't know. Something about this game isn't that hard. Like, I played Dark Souls 1 first, which maybe that's why the game feels easy, or because I'm using the OP Twin Blades, but let's see. They do not work as well, yeah. Because I think it's it's a singular fight, so it's not as great, especially when you consider if you fight Radagon, for example, in co-op, it's not very good if you fight him in co-op compared to if you fight him solo. So I definitely see where you're coming from that part. I could see it being some sort of reference or a boss of sorts that's from one of those characters or has a moveset similar, but I'm not sure, like you said, if it's going to be that character or that boss.
Very
But
well. Then take.
hopefully we get Bed of Chaos. He has to be the best boss from Dark Souls 1. There is no competition towards that. He's simply the best boss.
Ashen One.
Yes, bro. Bed of Chaos is the best boss.
Ashen.
Because when I was struggling on him, what was I told to do? I was told to just get good. There was nothing wrong with me, dog. Bed of Chaos is the best boss. He makes you have to actually play the game instead of fighting the boss. I had to respect the boss. Because here's the thing, you can't use spells on him. It deals no damage. You can't use OP weapons on him. It deals no damage. You have to, if you don't cheese it using fire bombs, you actually have to use skill to actually figure out problem solving. See, and that's where Bed of Chaos teaches you how to problem solve. Dark Souls 3, let's teach you how to problem solve. Nothing. This game was too easy for me. It was too easy. Like, they see that these games are hard, but they're really not. You can beat the game with no spells. You just need 2 swords and some crappy rings, and you win. Okay. Let's see, what's another gimmick Souls fight? Let's see, I have to actually check what's in this game, because I forgot. Okay. If you call Phase 1 of Abyss Watchers a gimmick, it's not terrible, it's really just you wait for the shadow to kill the main one. Rykard? Okay. Rykard's not bad. And then Yorm the Giant, dog. I think all I did for him was smack him the whole entire time. I don't think I found his weakness unless it was his arm. I just had to smack him for 6 minutes or so. So he wasn't really that bad. And then when we think about Rykard, I like the fact that you have to basically abuse poise, which is not very fun to do, but it's really based off of if you have a high Serpent Hunter level, you basically win the fight. There's not really a way to do it other than that. And the worst part about Rykard really is the one attack that can only be dodged with a shield. Because then you can't guarantee a hitless, for example. You can't hitless Rykard if you have to block a attack with a shield. And if I had to say, the most disappointing boss in this whole game is the real Gundyr. Right? I hitlessed him here, and then his phase 2 here is harder than the actual boss. The tutorial boss is harder than the actual boss. It's like fighting Margit, and then killing Morgott easier than Margit, even though Morgott is a harder boss. That's where it's confusing. It's like killing Morgott and having an easier time on Margit. And I think what's really odd is how they basically reused his phase 2 on their random enemies across the game without really making them really stronger. It was really just a annoyance to have to kill them before they transition into that, or to just ignore it and run away. There was no real fun to seeing that they transform into it. it was not very fun overall. And most of the bosses here were not as fleshed out as I wanted them to be. They were not as good as I wanted them to be. I don't know what it was, but I think I died the most on Abyss Watchers. The boss I think I died the most to was that. Even though it's one of the easiest in terms of your phase 1 is just waiting for them to kill it, but then phase 2, the hitboxes are just a bit odd, but they aren't impossible to dodge. It's just odd. And then, aside from that, it's not terrible. And some of the boss placements aren't very good. I think that's really the thing. You can beat the game at such a low level, which is, let's see, I am 83, right? In Elden Ring, you need to be what, 110? 110-ish, 100 to beat past all the bosses, which maybe it's because they give you a lot more runes overall, because there's a lot more bosses that are required in terms of you can kill a lot more. But even when you are required half the bosses in this game, you still get almost no souls overall. And you have to still fight the bosses, which is odd. Because I never struggled on the bosses where I would even get close to asking for help. I would always just be done with the boss and there wouldn't be any struggle. That's why I assumed it was 90 to 99, because you also don't need vigor. So you can put all those stats into whatever weapon scaling you need, or whatever endurance, or yeah. All you need is, if you don't need vigor, you maybe need FP. You probably want high endurance, obviously, so you can actually dodge and hit. And so you also don't get hit, because stamina's very important for actually rolling. And you don't need very much, which is surprising, because once you get to a point in Souls games, you learn that you don't need so much vigor. I have less than 40 vigor, barely inching onto that much vigor, and I still beat the game without really dying that much. I was able to heal almost all of it, because that big of a health bar does not look right. If you compare that big of a health bar to Dark Souls 1 or to especially Elden Ring, if you compare those games, the health bar is so much smaller at that level. Which I don't know why they have to be so much focused on the health bar, to the point where the bosses are too easy, because you can just tank half the attacks. Bro, what is this guy's name, bro? And then the PvP in the thing sucks, because you take no damage and you kill them right away. Like, this is the state of the PvP in this game. I don't understand how the Dark Souls PvP is good. I've heard it's good, but I've never seen it be good. Whenever I get summoned for Covenant, it just sucks. There's no incentive to play the PvP in this game. It is just a annoyance more often than not. You would just phantom out and leave. There's no use of actually fighting whatever's there. Now, hopefully, when I play the DLC, I get my ass beat and I don't just hit the boss once and they're dead. That's not what I want. I want to actually kill the boss. Or the DLC gets so bad that I don't even play it because that's what I did with Dark Souls 1. Because you don't need it to even plat the game, which I think it's just harder to get into because it requires more effort to even go there. Because you have to get the pendant, you have to get all that. You know, that's a great question, and we're gonna go figure that out. Because I'll be real, it's the first time I played Dark Souls 3, so I don't even know half the bosses. I know 2, like 4 bosses in total that are in the DLCs. Not even which DLC. I just know one of them's in 1 and one of them's in the other. That's basically all I know. Oh, bro, what the fuck? Oh, come on. Yo! I'm not getting sensitive, bro. Touching me. I need twinkling titanite. This is not Dark Souls 1. I don't need that anymore. I'm good. Scale. What I don't understand also is that they give you so many of these scales in all of these pieces, but yeah, it's my first time. And I only recently played Dark Souls 1. So I'm figuring out that the games are too easy when you have so high hours of it. In other, you realize the game is too easy. Yo, get the butterfly out of here, bro. Just realize the game is too easy. Now, hopefully, from the DLC, I don't get too easy where it's... What's worse is summoning every single second. Phantom out in order to even do anything. But those angels seem like they suck. So, hopefully they aren't too much of a problem. That's the hope. So what you gotta do now is you gotta just leave this. Like, oh no, I'm missing out on 2 rooms, 2 souls. I'm so sad I'm missing out on 4K souls. Can't believe it. And at least I'm adapted in terms of saying the terms, so I don't look a idiot saying things. So that's nice. So hopefully the DLC isn't too easy and I can actually lose and have to struggle. That's the hope. Now so far, it's not going too different. I'm currently getting cooked, but that's okay. What's with atoms? I die and lose souls? Oh, shucks. So sad. Oh, that sucks. I'm being touched. Stop. I did not use that. Good though. (9/11). Bro, 9/11 in Dark Souls is crazy. So fast. Go away. That wasn't a montage. Says I won't die. Never mind. Always read the messages. Oh, no way. I found a bonfire. Yeah. It's used to see that because I barely need it. It's colorful, so I know. What is this picture? That's so bad. There's, oh, it's that. Okay. So it's, okay. No, that probably means I'm chilling though. But I mean, it can't be that bad. I'm so good. Yo, what is it? Yo, stop! I'm getting touched. Okay. I need to slow your roll down. Slow your roll. Gotta run this way. The light would stop. I like the stuff. Very good stuff. Not good. It's not good. Good. I want that out of me. Is too good. What if I don't want to run? If I die, that's not my fault. That's the game's fault. See, like, I'm just fine. So, I'm good. See, like, I'm just fine. I'm putting my deck I'm totally not panic, bro. That's definitely not what I would do. I could never. I'm dead, bro. I'm dead. Hurry up. Oh, there's nothing here. Yes. I have to go find where the goofy boss is, and we can figure that out without getting touched by whatever. Was that really what a boss was? No way. No, stop, no way. I had to figure out where did they go up the first time. I forgot how to play this game. There's the sun, so I went around. See, why would I fight the boss on 0 Estes? That's your question. Why the boss on 0 Estes? Wrap off, whatever it's called. Okay. Clearly, that wasn't the play. I just gotta get good. Dying is merely a skill issue. Doesn't do that much. So it increased by 5, but that's not very good. I'd rather just have them and get 15%. What was I using? Let's do something. Oh, it's the one ring. I forget where it is. It's the eyeball. Nice. Okay. Let's go fight the boss. I feel like I should have started the other DLC first, but so what? Who really cares? Oh, look. I found you. See, audience. Oh, that up. Let's go. Oh wow, great. One secret attack inside. Everything I need. That's what you gave me? Okay. I'm so glad you gave me that I never use. Start maxed out. Just go down. Okay. No, yes, let's see. If I go down, no, this way. I'm gonna go this way and up here. Which makes sense. This makes a lot more sense. Yeah, this makes sense. Oh, bro, what's that? Okay, here's a fight. Oh, a pyromancer? Really? You're at JP to the game? Okay, nice. Oh, I'm still alive. Nice. Did that work? Got poison. That's good. Yeah, good. Stop. Now join Chris. Okay. Oh, good. See, that's a good question. I don't know. It's probably the swamp. But I'm not sure. Or because I'm just the best. Reckon I'm the best. Well, I have an idea. Never mind, I have an idea. Good. I'm gonna get cooked. Don't worry, I got this. Go. Prone spells. You good? Alright, now you want to attack? I'm good, Doc. I'm good. I'm ready to go play. I don't like you. Okay, so you go up there and then, okay. Yeah. We'll use these. The message. Not working. I'm dead. I don't know why you're dead. I can't tell if I'm going the right way. But I'll just figure it out. Maybe, just maybe, it's over here. That's pretty where they would put it. They would never put it over in the obvious spot. It's obviously. I don't think it's down there. I'll figure it out. No worry. What do these summoners look like, for example? What do these summoners look like? Tell me that the aims I promised that. I just have to find what it was. Probably over here. It is nice. Found it. See what's in progress. Hot sauce. Not have to go. Hello. Never mind. It's me. I got a door. Nice. Smaller outing ring gargoyles. Oh. It's that way. Found it. Is it the gargoyles that you find inside, what's it called? The prolonged capital, whatever it's called? The ones that are here that I'll attack you, or no. The ones that are, where's that? It's one of these. Here. There's like 2 or 3 outside of here. But I don't think that's what you're referring to. But there's still gargoyles. Or there's ones here. Inside. There. But I'm not sure that's what you're referring to. Let's try and get out of this. But I'll figure it out. If I keep mindlessly walking around, at some point I'll find it. Obviously, from what we found, it has to be right here. See, here's one. Who would not place their house in that spot? House of Mist. I need to go where it's supposed to be at. Hold on. Let me get there first. This is what we call professional gameplay. See, if you're dying, that's good. If you're not dying, that's bad. Dying means you're improving. If you're not dying, you ain't improving. Oh, maybe that's one over there. I see it. Yeah. Here we go. Here's some progress. No, it's not. It's quite the opposite. We're losing progress. Bad game. Okay. I have an idea. We're gonna try going backwards. We can no longer go backwards. Okay. Hold up. No. Try. Yeah. We can no longer go backwards. Let's try it somewhere else. Backwards over here. No. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try it forward. Short path. Clearly, the game is impossible. That's the issue. So what we gotta do is we gotta go back to step one. Find somewhere else to go. So what we're gonna do now is try to wow. Let's see. Oh, that's the same way.
Well done. At the close of the age of fire, great, then keep it.
What if I don't want to run? I'm gonna walk this way. I'm going to go to right now. Oh, okay, I'm going the other way. Okay, I'm going over there. Hold up. I pull up. I go back. I've been touched. That's why I have to go down here. Let's go over here first. Let's do this. That should be better. What we do is that run away. They're going too good. So talk about that one. Alright, let's see. Can I find the boss within 10 minutes? Okay, I'm going to the bonfire. I'm going up. I'm taking the wrong way there. I'm going the wrong way. No, I'm going first. Yeah, no, we're going to go the wrong way. Oh. No, you want to go up the path here. What up, what up? Not that bonfire. You obviously want to go where the and collapse that. I got something you want. Yes, yes, yes. And then we go to the bonfire. Then we have this guy.
Oh, call me Lab. I have a feat. Oh, I'm who I was. That's what for the code where the people like. That's what for the purge where they're all like.
I did a crappy PvP. Hopefully that actually helps. Nice. I lit them on fire now. Okay, okay. That's this. Guide me. Guide me. Show me the way. Okay, I'll go up the tree. There's a lot of trees, so I'm going to assume there's trees. That guy just died. Never mind. I'm on the tree. Wants to drop down here. No, that's there. So no. I need to go over here. Oh. Missed a bit. It's okay though. We'll come back. We make it come back. Okay, go back up the tree. Okay, I'm up the tree. Read the messages. Okay, okay. And then I'm assuming I'm going. Okay. No Estes really. Oh. Cannot be serious. Okay, over here. Nope. No. Bruh. Cooked. Okie dokie. I'll just die. I'll try again. More Estus. Clearly, the game is just too hard. I think that's the issue. The game's just too hard. Oh, never mind.
Oh, look at you. You found the treasure. Dashing. Just dashing now. Not much. This really might. This might.
Okay. Go left from the tree. Okay. I'll try that. I'll try that. Let me try that. Single assist. Someone go up the tree. Then go up the tree. And then you make a right. Or you go across here. Fight that dude. Try that. Should I find this dude here? Where is this big jump you speak of? Back over here. Let's go look for this big jump. Oh, from the roof. Wow. You see it over here? Where am I jumping from? Okay, after the. Okay. I go. I pull up. Those are stuck there. I was trying to get there, but I kind of died. This time I'll make it. I found the strategy. You gotta just get good. Already killed. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me go. Yes. This guy's good. Easy. Alright, problem solved. Problem solved. Okay, and going into the year 2025. What's that? Okay, so I go over there, but I'm dying. So I quit. Here. Oh, I'll flip a coin. If it's heads, I quit. If it's tails, I had to get good. Except the fate. Bah! It's tails. I quit. This game sucks. And I suck. So I just gotta get good. If I'm dying, I gotta get good. that. Die. Nice. Very easy, very easy. Very simple. Okay. Quit. Too hard. Right away. This one right here. I couldn't find it. I quit. Game is too hard.